Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, Daily Juice being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE. Get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 on first deposit. All right, here's what we got. We got a couple NBA picks. We got a college basketball pick, and we got an early tight end anytime touchdown. You know I'm getting on the anytime tight end touchdowns coming up for Super Wild Card Weekend. 1 and 2 with the NBA picks yesterday. Man, let's get through it. Sixers -9. Thunder won outright 133-114. This Sixers team, I think I'm just in a little bit of denial because they were looking really good for a while. They got Embiid back. I thought they would play some defense against the Thunder at home. Come on, this team does play down to their competition sometimes, and maybe I was in a little bit of denial about it. But tough look there for the Sixers. Portland +3. This one. I mean, Sixers got their ass kicked, but Portland +3. They lost by 6, 119-113. Oh, man. They were -10 in the fourth quarter at home. I get it. Jazz are better, but come on, Portland. You had this game. I think there's a new trend right now. If any team I pick basketball-wise, fade them in the second half. I don't even know why I'm giving out full game plays anymore. It should only be first halves. It's really getting crazy. Celtics -2.5. They won and covered. Good game. Just like a fun watch. And then Celtics just clamped down in the fourth quarter, allowed only 16 points to the Brooklyn Nets to kind of ice that game. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk a little NBA, the association. Knicks at the Wizards. I'm taking the Knicks -3 over on DK. Again, love the Knicks on the road. Knicks are 14-6 ATS on the road. I don't know what it is about them on the road. They just grind it out. They are a grinded out team, 4th in the league in rebounding on the road. And yeah, they're good at ATS on the road because they play good road defense as well. They're 3rd in the league in road defense, averaging 110 points allowed per game, which, again, if any old man hears this stat, 110 points allowed and you're 3rd in the league? What happened to basketball? They're hooping and hopping all over the place and dunking and letting up 133 points to the Thunder at home. It's hard not to get on my lawn chair and talk about the mid-90s Bulls. And that's the thing about everyone thinks in the 90s, you think of Michael Jordan and stuff like that, and offense. But really, the defense, they just played such hard defense, physicality, the way they called the game, hand checking, hard fouls. All right, back off the rocking chair. Wizards, again, they can't score at home. Not great offense overall, but they really struggle at home, at least compared to most teams. And Wizards kind of banged up. And Knicks are coming in hot. Again, Knicks are the ultimate hot and cold team. Right now they're hot. They're on the road. Those are 2 bet-on signs for the New York Knickerbockers. So give me the Knicks -3. Moving over to the, I think they're playing this in a neutral site, the Alamo Dome, or at least a different venue. Warriors at Spurs, +8.5 for the Spurs. Home dog. I'm going with the home dog. Fading the Warriors. Warriors are just horrible ATS on the road. 4-15 against the spread on the road. Now, the concerns are, A, they got Steph Curry back. B, they're coming off a loss against the Suns, so they will be motivated. But Warriors as a road favorite this season, 1-7. I do think they get the win. I just think covering this 8.5. I mean, I think they said there's going to be a crazy amount of fans in attendance. Might be the most fans for an NBA game all time. I thought it's like 64,000. I'll have to double check those numbers. But I think if you're the Spurs, this is your Super Bowl, right? I mean, if you're the Spurs, how often do you play a game that 64,000 people are watching? Even if you're counting people watching at home on television, you're the Spurs. I think this is their time to shine. Now, obviously the Warriors have got Steph Curry back, but he's still kind of, he only had 1 game back so far. He played against the Sun, shot 36% from the field. Obviously, he's Steph. He's going to be fine, but I think it might take him a little bit to get in that true Steph form where he's, putting up 35, 40 a game. Now, again, it is the Spurs. Big crowd. Maybe he really does go off and puts on a show here. But I think you're going to get the best effort from the Spurs, which we'll see. Knock on wood, we get the 8.5. But I do like them as a home dog. You know what else I like? Omaha Steaks. Oh, man. Recording this late at night, and I'm just imagining that sizzle on the grill of those delicious Omaha Steaks. Use that promo code JUICE at checkout. Get a $30 more off your order. I mean, there certain Omaha Steak favorites, and again, Sophie's choice here of what Omaha Steaks to choose as my favorite, but they're already offering some as much as 55% off on some of the select Omaha Steaks, and then you toss in the $30 off. And I know they want me to say, hey, use the promo code JUICE, get the $30 off, but if I'm being honest, they could charge me an extra $30 and I would still like these steaks because it is the best steak of your life, guaranteed. Imagine the boldness, the confidence it tells. Just imagine the confidence of Omaha Steaks to say this is the best steak of your life, guaranteed. I mean, that's all you need to know. Tender, juicy, just get that nice medium rare. Oh, man, you get that sizzle on the outside, nice, juicy, pink middle. I'm just – all right. I that's the only problem with these Omaha Steaks reads. I don't want to do the rest of the show. I just want to go home and start cooking up a sweet, sweet steak. OmahaSteaks.com, promo code JUICE, $30 off. Minimum order may be required. All right, let's talk a little college hoops. Fairfield at Iona. I'm taking Iona laying 14.5 over at BetMGM. Normally, I don't like laying this big of a number for a mid-major because, again, anything could happen. Iona, though, is coming off a loss. Rick Pitino is great off a loss, and Fairfield is just really, really bad. So normally I might stay away from this because it's a very easy look-ahead spot, I think, for Iona. But one, they're at home. Like I said, two, they're coming off a loss. I mean, you look at the numbers. It's setting up to be a bloodbath. Iona's offense, 68th in efficiency in the country compared to Fairfield's defense, 222nd in the country. Fairfield is almost dead last at hitting threes. They're 355th in the country, which, again, do your math. I think there's like 360 college basketball programs. I just really struggle to find one thing where Fairfield is going to do it better than Iona. Again, the look-ahead spot could be real when there is this much of a talent disparity, but I think one, coming off a loss, and two, being at home on a Friday night, they're going to want to show out. They're going to go, hey, if you're a kid go on the Iona basketball program, you got to go after the game, go out, have a couple cold ones responsibly, and you don't want to have to explain to your friends why you didn't cover 14.5 against Fairfield. All right, last but not least, little anytime touchdown. Looking ahead to super wild card weekend. They should be playing that at the Alamodome. Super wild card weekend does sound like a monster truck rally. We got Truckosaurus and Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen and Gravedigger. Oh, man. I mean, is monster trucks still a thing? I hope so. They just brought me so much joy as a kid. All right, enough messing around. Donald Parham, anytime touchdown, plus 700 for 1 unit over on FanDuel. He got 51% of the snaps last game, had the same amount of red zone targets as one Gerald Everett. I know what you're saying, Sean. The Chargers didn't need that game. Well, tell that to Brandon Staley, who played his starters. So, I mean, for almost the entire game. So, I think the snap share, the red zone targets that he got, I think those are what they're trying to do in the offense with the starters. I think this is a pretty good matchup. And then with Mike Williams being out, it seems like he's almost certainly going to be out. If you're Justin Herbert, you want to throw it to a big-bodied guy, a big dude in the end zone. That big dude now is Donald Parham with no Mike Williams. Mike Williams, 6'4", just has that giant frame. I think Donald Parham could fill in nicely. So give me Donald Parham, anytime touchdown, plus 700 for 1 unit. And again, I know Everett has had some red zone stuff, but I do think in the back of Justin Herbert's head, he's thinking about, that one red zone throw early in the season that he threw to Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett dogged it on the route, and then the Chiefs took it to the house. Almost cost them the playoffs there. So I think that's got to be in the back of his head. So let's get an early start on Donald Parham anytime touchdown plus 700. I do think it's going to close lower than that over on FanDuel. Give me Iona laying 14.5 at home against Fairfield, and give me the Spurs plus 8.5 as a home dog against the Warriors, and give me the Knicks laying 3 at the Wizards. All right. Hey, as always, brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other podcasts, the Sports Gambling Podcast. And you know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.